Here's a step-by-step method to get an A star at A-level chemistry. At the end, I'll show an example of how I organised my revision to help me achieve an A star. Step 1. Active recall. Research shows that active recall is the most effective revision method. Target approaches which force your brain to solve problems and recall information, such as flashcards and practice questions. Avoid methods such as reading or notes, because these are passive methods. For example, when I was revising A-level chemistry, my main approach to revision was using practice questions. Practice questions help you become familiar with the format of questions which you will face in exams, and test the application of knowledge which is essential to achieve an A star. Step 2. Spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is the process of spacing out the repetition of topics to maintain memory of these topics over time. The graph on the right shows that on day 1, when you first learn a topic, your memory is 100%, but over the next 3 days you rapidly lose memory of that topic. Reviewing it on, say, for example, day 3, helps you refresh your memory and restores your recall percentage to 100%. After day 3, recall decreases, but more slowly than the first time. And so when your brain is forced to recall the topic again and again and again, the rate at which the recall of information is lost decreases. The more you repeat the topic, the better your recall will become. Step 3. Prioritisation. This is essential to achieve an A star. The specification is so big, and there are so many different topics to learn and apply, that it can become easy to miss topics in your revision. Prioritisation will help you focus on topics which you find more difficult and therefore need to revise more. Topics which you find easier don't need to be revised as much. Often students focus on topics which they find easier, as this is less challenging for their brain. However, this often leads to more difficult topics being neglected, which can significantly affect students' grades. Here's an example of how I ensured that I was doing active revision and spaced repetition in my revision. I used a spreadsheet to set out all the topics which I needed to cover in specification. I then went through these topics one by one, answering and marking the practice questions, which helped me identify where the gaps in my chemistry were. For example, after doing the buffers and neutralization practice questions, I typed the date on which I did these questions, so for example the 26th of July, and highlighted the boxes red, amber or green, depending on how hard I found the topic and how many questions I got wrong. I would then come back to the topic after going through perhaps all of the topics on the module, and depending on if it was red, amber or green, and how long ago I did it, I would prioritize which topics to repeat first. So, for example, if buffers and neutralization was red, and I did it first, then it would be the first topic that I would repeat, instead of, for example, acids, bases and pH, which I might have done at a later date, and I might have highlighted it green because it was easier. Step 4. Organisation. Identifying which methods work best for your revision is very important. A method which works very well for me might not work for you at all, and vice versa. Use exams set by your teachers to identify these methods. Eliminate any methods which you find didn't get you good grades. It's always helpful to set targets based on, for example, how long you want to revise for, or which topics you want to cover in a set time period. I found the Pomodoro method very useful when juggling 3 A-level subjects. This is a method where you do 25 minutes work, then have a 5-minute break, and repeat this 4 times before you have longer breaks, such as a 15-minute break. You can manipulate this however you want, depending on how long you think you can focus for, but the most important thing is ensuring that your revision is focused. Revising for periods of time which are too long reduces focus and makes your revision less effective. My final tip is no matter how you like to revise, you must do practice questions. Once you get into the exam room, you will likely feel nervous or anxious, and so doing practice questions help you get in the right frame of mind for the exam, meaning you're less likely to panic, which is one of the main reasons why students don't achieve an A star. Thanks for watching Norton Chemistry. For more tips and tricks to help you achieve an A star at A-level chemistry, check out my other videos, including topic-based videos, practice question run-throughs, and more tips and tricks to help you revise effectively.